Okay, so today, this is what we're going to do. If you are a school owner, if you're a beauty professional and you want to know the quickest, fastest, easiest way to become accredited and start receiving your government funding, then you want to stay and watch this entire training. So, step one, basic eligibility. So, the first thing, once you get open through the state board, okay, once you're approved through the state board, that's when your clock starts ticking, meaning that's when your time starts with NACCAS. Now, after your school has been open and approved by the state board for 12 months, that's when you can start the NACCAS accreditation process. Now, a lot of people always ask the question. I'll never forget back in 1998 when I asked Ms. Velma that question, how many students do I have to go through this accreditation that graduated from my school? She told me one. Everybody in the community and around the world, they were telling me misinformation. You got to have all these students. Now, if you look here, let me go back because I want y'all to see this real quick. If you look here, if you look to the right of this screen where it says in parentheses, at least one student not attending through a training agreement. Do you all see that? That's right, one, at least one. Now, the question, can y'all get at least one student to graduate? Just one? Can you get at least one? Start out real small, little small school like I had. Y'all seen my very first school. All you gotta do is get one. If you can't find one, go downtown, go somewhere, get a family member, a friend, get somebody, a homeless person off the street. Get at least one. That's all you need is one. If you can't get one, you don't deserve to go through accreditation. So we all on board with that. You need at least one student. Once you've been open for 12 months, that's when you can start the NACCAS accreditation process. All right. Now, after you've been open the 12 months, that's when you want to go to your first workshop. So we got step one. We got to get approved through state board. All right. Once we get approved through state board, the time starts ticking. All right. Now, after we've been open 12 months, what are we going to do? We're going to go to a NACCAS workshop. NACCAS usually has about 4 different workshops per year in different states. Sometimes Virginia, Florida, Las Vegas. Those are like the main states that they have those workshops. For the candidate status schools trying to get accredited, going through the first stage, they have to go for 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. A lot of people say, well, what do I have to do? Show up and just sit there, be present. That's it, okay? It's going to be a lot of information thrown at you. Most of our leaders, the people in our program, the ladies do all of y'all paperwork with you and for you, so it's not a big deal. So it's going to be a 3-day workshop. People always ask, well, how much does it cost? $525 for the early bird. If you don't register early and it goes past the early bird date, it's going to be $725 after that. If you wait to the very last minute and register at the door, if they're not sold out, it's going to be $925. So I always tell everybody to do the early bird, $525. And I'm going to show you on the website, the NACCAS website, where you can locate this information at, okay? So now we go to the workshop. Do you have to stay at the same hotel that the workshop is in? Absolutely not. You don't. You just need to be at their hotel that morning, to go to class and be on time. So think about that. What if you went to a workshop as soon as your school got open? And people ask me that question. And I always tell them, no, wait till you've been open about 12 months. Why? If you go to a workshop when you first open your school, well, I want to share something with you. Listen very closely. Listen very closely. When you fill out your candidate application on the NACCAS website, when you create your account to fill out your candidate application, it's going to ask you a question. Have you attended a workshop within the past 6 months? If you answer no, they kick an application out. can't do it. If you answer yes, you'll be able to move on. Now, what if you attended the workshop when your school first opened? Okay, you get all this NACCAS information, boom, boom, boom. You have paid for probably a flight, hotel, and the 525 food, gas, whatever. So you done spend 1,000 or more. All right. Well, when you get to answer that question, okay, on the application, now your workshop certificate that you went to when your school first opened, guess what? It is expired because it's been past 6 months. So now you have to attend another workshop and you got to pay another 525 hotel, flight, food, gas, whatever. Okay, so that's why I tell everybody wait to about 12 months. 12 months, boom, go ahead and do it. Now, the next thing, when you attend the workshop, you're going to see a lot of people, you're going to meet a lot of people. There are going to be a lot of consultants there. There are going to be a lot of people in the chat trying to get you to do business with them, trying to get you to pay them so they can do your paperwork. I tell everybody, choose a consultant that you can trust, that you vetted, that's proven. There are a lot of consultants out there. They're not who they say they are. We have had to go behind a lot of them. I would never tell you all to, hey, let us do your work or go there and do your work. No, all I can tell you is do your homework, find someone that's vetted, a team that's proven, get testimonials, reach out to people, and then make a conscious decision. If you do not work with us, that's okay. If you run into a hornet's nest, run into a snag, and a lot of this happens, still reach out. Still reach out. I don't mind you calling, emailing, texting, because I can answer anything just like that. Okay, so don't worry about that. Let's move on to the next step. So now, what have we done? We've been open at least 12 months. We done attended the NACCAS workshop. All right, pre-candidate status. This is a workshop schedule. And I'm going to go to the website so you can kind of look at it. If you look at this, what you notice, you'll have the date, pre-candidate class, you have to go on that Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Now, if you're already past pre-candidate, you can just go Sunday, Monday. It'll show you the hotel, the early bird, all of that stuff. Okay, look, NACCAS early bird registration. All right, now when you go to the website, you're going to see all of this. This is just an example so you all can see this. It even has the hotel registration for your booking, your room. Now, let's go to the next page. Workshop schedule. The workshop schedule is always going to show the workshop, the location, hotel deadline, early bird deadline. You can look at this. Whether you're looking at this for 2024, 25, 26, 27, year 28, 29, 30, or whatever, this is basically how it's going to be. I'm just showing you an example. Now, here it is, as I told you earlier. Early bird fee, $5.25. Regular fee after early bird, $7.25. If you go to the door, it's going to be $9.25. Now, everybody's always asking, what classes should I sign up for when I'm there? Well, it's already marked on the ISS as mandatory. You got to go to that class. You need to go to that. Don't let the ISS fear you. 99.9% of the schools that are accredited, guess what? They paid a team, a consulting team, to do all of that paperwork for them. If you're a school owner and you try to do this institutional self-study and all of that paperwork yourself, you're crazy. Bottom line, it's not happening. You're going to run yourself crazy. Pay a team to do that work for you. If you need heart surgery, I don't care if you're the best surgeon in the world, Ben Carson or whoever, you're not going to perform surgery on yourself. You're going to pay someone. All right. A dentist, as great as a dentist is, he does not work on himself, pulling extractions and putting his braces on and doing all of that type of stuff. So I encourage you all to find a proven team to do that institutional self-study for you, the ISS. And don't worry about people saying, well, it's hard, it's a lot of work. Pay somebody to do it. Simple as that. And the thing about it, I want to share this with you because this is very important. I will never forget when I joined this program, Ms. Velma's program back in 1998. I knew about the NACCAS accreditation, and people were telling me, oh, you can do that yourself. No, don't listen to people like that. Oh, you can do it yourself. Sometimes you trying to save money, you're going to lose money. A lot of people say money is time and time is money. That's not true. Time is more valuable than money. Think about this. You can get back money. If you lose money, you can get it back. Everybody on here, we all have had money. We all have lost it and got money again or whatever. One thing you cannot get back, no matter how much money you got, whether you Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or whoever, you cannot get back time. You cannot buy back that time that's gone. So it's very important. Listen to this. When I opened my school in 98, I got accredited in like 2000, 2001. Okay. Now, I chose to invest in myself in Ms. Velma's program, her gold program back then. She let me do a payment plan. Best investment, hands down, I ever did. There was another school owner. I'm not going to call any names. They said, oh, I'm going to do mine myself. I told them about Ms. Velma. When I got accredited, right at 3 years later, 2 or 3 years later, right at 3 years, I'll say, I got $600,000 from the government. I'll never forget that. That other school owner, guess what they got from the government? Zero. Okay. The next year, I got over $900,000 from the government. Guess how much that other school got? Zero. The next year, I got about $1.1 million. Guess how much that other school owner got? Zero. They were still struggling, trying to do their ISS, trying to do all of their paperwork, trying to get through NACCAS. So by that investment that I made, those thousands of dollars that I invested in myself for Ms. Velma to do my paperwork, it made me over $1 million, probably $2 million, because of that school owner not wanting to invest in themselves, $15,000, $20,000, whatever. And Ms. Velma was doing a payment plan. They lost several million. So there's more than one way to look at that. You're already a school owner. You're already getting people calling you. Hey, do you have financial aid? If your tuition is $10,000 and you have one potential student calling you a week, do you have financial aid? Nope. You just lost 10,000. Now, if that's every week, that's 4 students a month, 4 potential students a month times your tuition, 10,000. What is that? 4 times 10,000 is what? 40,000 you just lost. Average school is getting 4 or 5 calls a week. Yeah, the average school is getting about 4 to 5 calls a week asking if you have financial aid. So that's anywhere from 16 to 20 leads a month. At 10,000, that's 160,000 to $200,000 you're losing because you're not accredited. So it's very important that you do things in a timely manner, fast, quick. And a lot of people say, you can't get accredited in 2 or 3 years. I hear that all the time. If you do it yourself, no, you cannot. If you had a team like Ms. Velma, an expert team, experts can do things faster than you, quicker than you. Okay, we've done an ISS in one day. There was a little Oriental lady who called. Her candidate status, her 2 years was grade B up. She called, broke down, started crying. I said, okay, we've never done one in one day. I don't know if we can do it in a day, but I'll call the team if they're gonna work overtime, and then it means I'm gonna have to stay up 24 hours. I'm gonna have to pay them. So okay, it'll be doubled. The lady said okay. She put out American Express. Boom, she paid. We worked on it. We completed it. But I tell everybody about 30 days if they give us the paperwork. A lot of times we're waiting on them to give us documents that students have signed. So now this workshop, this institutional self-study, and I'm only sharing these stories with you all so you can have an understanding. All right. Satisfactory academic progress, SAP. I've already made videos on all of this stuff, pretty much. Annual report. I recommend you go to the annual report workshop. That's one that you want to look at while you're at NACCAS, because a lot of schools don't know how to do the annual report, although we've created videos showing you. Your annual report is due every year once you get in candidate status. I'm not going to go into detail of the annual report and all that, but we have videos showing you step by step. I would definitely do business fundamentals, how to develop a financially sound school. Now, okay, how to develop a financially sound school. I want to share something with you all. Miss Velma, her number one advice, and I asked her, out of everything, what is the number one thing that you can share with me, Miss Velma? She said, Chin, find a school, a location that you can easily afford and easily manage for about 3 years. I said, why, Miss Velma? She said, because it's potentially going to be about 3 years before you get accredited and start receiving millions of dollars in government funding. If you find a building and you get over your head, you have champagne taste, but you only have Coca-Cola money. Your credit is not too good. Your family members don't have money, so you don't really have any resources to pour from. You need to find a building that you can easily afford and manage and sustain and stay above water, be able to pay NACCAS, be able to pay her. Think about that. A lot of schools go under because they've been looking at Paul Mitchell, Aveda, Empire. Yeah, I call the names, Kenneth Schuler. They've been looking at these big schools. Don't get blinded by looking at what everybody else got, what everybody else is doing. If you live like your friends won't live for a couple of years, you will live like they can't live the rest of your life. See, nobody's thinking about when all of those holes in the roof, everything was leaking. Them brown spots that I showed y'all, nobody thinks about when I was eating oatmeal every day for breakfast, riding the MARTA bus, shopping at Goodwill, not going out to eat, not going on dates, not doing any entertainment. See, it's called sacrifice and short-term pain for long-term gain. So it's very important that you sacrifice. See, if you just sacrifice a little bit, because one thing about it, time is going to keep ticking. Time is going to keep going. And it's very important that you do it now. What if I had waited? What if I was just now opening a school, y'all? I opened a school, I was 26 years old. So what that did, it gave me the time to enjoy the next 20 something years. I've had a long life of 27 years of just good. Why? Because you want to take action. Beauty professionals, this is going to be your best bet for you to have financial freedom and time freedom. It's going to be your best bet. This is what's going to create generational wealth, financial freedom, time freedom, the school. Now, you're going to have to sacrifice on the front end. And this accreditation is very important. So you're talking about how to develop a financially sound school. One, don't get in over your head. Find a building that you can easily afford and manage. That's the first thing. Keep your overhead down. When you first open up, another thing Ms. Velma said, don't be hiring a bunch of staff, because that's going to be your biggest expense in operating a school is staff. Every Friday, imagine you got to pay somebody $500 a week, 600, 700, $800 a week. Every Friday is going to roll around real quick. When you first open your school, I hope and pray the universe, the higher power blesses you and you have a potential line of students lined up, wrapped around the corner, wanting to enroll in your school. But realistically, you won't have that. But it's possible. But if you don't, like me, I had 0 students in the physical for months, but you still want to thank the higher power for 100 in the spiritual. Well, think about it. If you bring all your clients from the shop, and you're servicing them, charging them full price. You get you one student in there, state board comes in. I'm just doing a look and learn and demonstration. Guess what? You haven't lost any money. You have theory class because you got to teach an hour a day. Theory from 9 to 10 a.m. or 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., whatever time you open. 1 hour a day. The rest of the day, you're servicing clients, just like if you were in your shop. The only difference is in about 2 to 3 years, you will be accredited, being able to receive all the financial aid, the government grants, the GI Bill, people that's been in the military, vocational rehabilitation, somebody has a mental, physical health or dependency problem that's been documented by a doctor. Even if it has not been documented by a doctor, you send them to the doctor and get them evaluated. In this day and time, 99% of the people, 9 out of 10 people that you come across, something is going to be wrong with them. Very seldom are you going to meet somebody that's just perfect. So developing a financially sound school, run it yourself. Each and every one of y'all, you could handle 10 to 20 students right now. I know everybody on here right now, you could handle 10 to 20 students all by yourself. When it's time to clean up, do sanitation, everybody comes together. You're the leader of the school, on like I was. I would go in the bathrooms and clean the toilet, get on my knees, scrub, and do all that. Pretty soon the students start seeing it. Oh, I got the bathroom. So now you can teach them business. So you can have one student working the front desk that day. They have to learn business. They got to learn how to answer the phone. They got to learn how to greet clients. So you can really utilize your students in helping to manage your school. But if you only have 10, 20, 25 students, you can handle them. And you can do it. I was the janitor, the toilet bowl cleaner, front desk operator, theory instructor, practical floor, admissions rep. I was everything. And Nick he got accredited. He was everything. Down in Tupelo, Mississippi, C&K Barber College. You can look him up. It can be done. So developing a financially sound school, keep the overhead low. Your kits, buy 1 or 2 kits. That's it. Have 1 kit where a student can check it out. If they don't have no money to buy a kit, okay, here, take this kit, go on the clinic floor, do hair, nails, facials, whatever, make the school money. Then when you finish, time for you to go home, bring the kit back. We give you your ID. It's like checking out a library book. You got your library card. All right, now, do not give students kits to purchase unless they done paid for them. It's COD, all right, because you'll lose money that way. We're talking about developing a financially sound school. We want to keep our overhead low, all right? Now, you'll be able to make it because you'll be able to do your clients, and now you have social media. You should be posting every day. You should be doing guerrilla marketing. You should be going to every beauty, barber, nail shop in the city, letting them know you have a school. If you refer students, I'll give you $100 cash. Because when a student enrolls, they're going to pay a $100 application fee anyway. You should be hitting the churches, the Walmarts. You should be hitting the bars. You should be hitting Sam's Host. You should be hitting everywhere, guerrilla marketing. You should be going to all of the career days at the high schools. You should be going to the prisons, people getting out. You should hit everywhere. Hit those councils at them places. As far as the services, you should be hitting all of the elderly, special needs, single parent families, high school kids, college kids, people on a budget, because all of you experts on here, they can't pay your prices. No, they can't pay your prices. A lot of people can't. A lot of people on the budget, so you can target them. You should be sending out newsletters to the radio station, the press releases, to all of them, the news place, press release. Hey, we doing free haircuts or free manicures or whatever for kids under 12, for single parent moms, for single parent fathers. Mother's Day rolls around for all mothers over the age of 55. You should be running specials all the time where you're doing something free. And you send that press release to the news, to the radio. And what's going to happen, you're going to get some free publicity. Yeah, it's 12 months in a year. You may just come out and do a story one time, but it'll take you a long way. So now we're talking about how to develop a financially sound school. And we'll connect you with some accountants, some people that's vetted. Teaching methodology. I didn't know how to teach, and you don't have to know how to teach as long as you can read. My ladies is already taught for you. It's already done for you. I had never worked at a school. I had zero experience when I opened my school. Oh, you got to go to a school to get experience. No, you do not. All you got to do is find someone. That's it. Find an expert and tap into them. Miss Velma had 30 years of experience. I did. She said, Chin, all you got to do is stay one chapter ahead of them students. That's it. Stay one chapter ahead. You can stay one chapter ahead and you can teach anything. Just like the movie that we saw that talked to Kitchen, If I Can, the college, he was the professor, whatever. You can teach anything. Them students wouldn't know. One chapter ahead. One chapter ahead. And now they got all this digital stuff. We had the VHS tapes, the DVDs. They can watch stuff online now, learn on their phones, take tests on their phone, do the SEMA, all of this stuff. So you don't have to be a great teacher. Now it helps, but they can do to my ladies. So now, what you want to do, ISS mandatory. I definitely do the annual report. And financially sound. But you got to put yourself on punishment. Each and every one of y'all, put yourself on punishment for about a year or 2 years. Can you imagine, ladies, if you didn't buy no hair for a year, no lashes, get your nails done, your feet done? Can you imagine if you didn't go out to eat for a year? You didn't shop for a year. Y'all already got a closet full of clothes and shoes to last y'all probably the next 10 years. You don't need to be doing that. What about taking a sack lunch to work? When I opened my school, I took a sack lunch to work until I got accredited. I was not eating out. My students, a lot of them was eating out. I had a sack lunch where I had a refrigerator back there. So it's about sacrificing. That little food that you eating every day going out, it adds up. That Starbucks coffee, it adds up. Trust me. So let's sacrifice short-term pain for long-term gain. We're going to live like our friends won't live for a couple of years. After that, we will live like they can't live the rest of our life. So when y'all get accredited, your life is going to change. I know it's very hard to believe and fathom that when you get accredited, the government is going to pay you this money. They will. The government never runs out of money. Some of y'all, your first time actually experiencing government money was COVID. A lot of people, they never had money that just magically appeared in their bank account that was wired. So it's important that we live below our means and sacrifice. And don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Don't even worry about that. So now we're going to keep going. Now, complete the electronic application. After you've gone to the workshop, that they're going to give you a certificate and all of that. Your 12 months is up. You're going to go on the NACCAS website. And I have a video training on this, walking you step by step. You're going to go on the NACCAS website and fill out your application. There's a bunch of questions and everything. You got to submit a resume for you, a resume for your admin. Well, I don't have an admin. Okay. Get your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your mama, your auntie, your grandmama, put them down as your admin and have the resume. All right. Your school license. You're going to need that. Your school feasibility study. Now, a lot of y'all saying, what is a school feasibility study? Our team, we do that for you. So you don't have to worry about that. We've had guys, ladies, that couldn't even do a resume. Some of them didn't even know what a resume was. You know, one guy called, he said, man, they said I need a resume. And I said, a resume? I said, what do you mean, a resume? He said, you know, where I used to work in the schools I went to and all of that. I said, oh, okay, a resume. Now, I didn't laugh at him. No. I said, okay, we got you. So I said, this is what I want you to do. Email the team, tell them what year you graduated from high school. Tell them what year you went to the barber school and what was the name of it. And then what shop did you work at when you graduated from the barber school? And the ladies put their resume together. Now, I know a lot of people probably laughing and all that stuff, but one thing I can tell y'all, that guy's accredited right now, and he's doing about $2 million a year. And he retired his wife, and he has millions of dollars in real estate, and he travels the world. I can tell you that. And think about that. Think about how many bosses we've had that had businesses that were multimillionaires, and we were smarter than them. But he asked. There's no dumb question. Okay. And a lot of this NACCAS stuff, the people that are smart, the ones that went to college, got the degrees and think they smart, they're the ones that mess up because they think they smart and they think they can do this. You're not. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, guess what? If you put some flat irons in their hand, some shears, some clippers, and tell them to cut hair, what's going to happen? What is going to happen? It's going to be a disaster. But they're intelligent, but they're smart. Yeah, but everything you got to have a specialized talent and knowledge in. So now you fill out this application. I won't go into detail on the application. There's a certification form you have to sign and fill out. And there's a webinar form saying you watch these webinars. You got to sign that and fill out. And then the team will answer all them questions if you're in the program. If not, just watch the video and submit it. This application right here, it must be 100% correct. We get emails, DMs all the time. People try to fill out this application, and guess what? They don't know what they're doing. They'll send it to the team. They'll join our program. Boom. Well, how did you do that? Oh, you didn't have, your address didn't match the state board address that you had on your license. It could be any little thing that they didn't put. It could be something minor. It could be something major. So that's step 3. After we submit the application, you have to pay your fee for the application, $1,485. And you have to pay your sustaining fees. What are your sustaining fees? That's your annual, yearly membership fees up at NACCAS. That's what that is. It's about maybe $1,900, something like that. But they prorate it. So it's about $160 a month. So just say you filled this out and submitted it in the middle of the year. Okay, they would prorate that for 6 months, the annual sustaining fees. And then you still have to pay your $1,485 application fee. It's electronic. So you got to put your bank information, the routing number, the account number, the bank name, the school name or your name, whoever name the bank is in, the address and all that, submit and pay for it. And then NACCAS, they'll send you an automated response. Now, and you got to upload, your school feasibility study, school license, and the other documents. Once that's done, about a week to 2 weeks later, you'll get a response from NACCAS. Hey, we're approved you. You're in candidate status. So they'll say, hey, you're not approved. You need to revise this and fix this. One of the two. Then you can go back, revise it, fix it, submit it again. They look at it. It may be correct. Or they may say, hey, you got to fix this, do that. Okay? So now, after that, what's the next step? We done submitted the application. We're in candidate status. Let's move on. Now, although this is saying like 1,440, it's like 1,485, and this came off the NACCAS website. Annual sustaining fees. I told y'all about that. I told y'all, and they're gonna prorate it. You gotta pay these fees every year. Why? They're membership fees, because NACCAS says so. Now, step 4. I already told you they're gonna review the application. It usually takes them about a week to 2 weeks to review it. Then they'll send you an email and they'll send you a letter in the mail also saying we've granted you candidate status. Okay, you get to stay in candidate status for 2 years. Why 2 years? Well, because they know or they think that it's going to take you a very long time to do that 200 to 400 page institutional self-study, but it won't. Some people that I've talked to, They tried to do the ISS themselves, and guess what? They went past the 2 years. What happened? They had to start all over again. All over. Now, they've lost money and everything. Next step, after you have done the candidate application, you got candidate status, you can fill out your institutional self-study. That's the 200 to 400 page document. I'm not going to go over that because that'll take all day. There are video trainings out there for you all. Now, this right here, this document right here, this is the actual application for candidate status, meaning for your candidate visit. When you're in candidate status and you submitted your application, you done submitted your institutional self-study, they have accepted it. Now you can submit your candidate consultation visit form. All right. This is the form for you to submit to NACCAS, pay your fee of $2,425. 2 NACCAS team members are going to come visit your school. Once you submit this, you fill this out, you upload it to the back portal. NACCAS will look at it and say, hey, okay, they will set you a date anywhere from 3 to 6 months out. That's why we always want to do your institutional self-study ASAP. Because even if we submit it today, it's still going to be 3 to 6 months before NACCAS comes out to your school. All right? Well, why is that? Well, that's just the way NACCAS works. That's why. Now, so now we submit that. About a week later, whatever, they're going to give you a date. It'll be 3 to 6 months out. And when you submit these documents, wait a week and then follow up. Don't just submit your documents and wait on NACCAS to call you. No. Every time you submit documents, wait about a week, call them, email them, hey, I submitted my candidate consultation visit form. I was just following up. I'm ready. Hey, I submitted my institutional self-study. I'm ready for the next step. You want to stay on them. All right. Now, this is that candidate consultation visit. It's $2,425 now. Step 5, I told you the institutional self-study. We've already talked about that. You got to upload that. Once you upload it, you can request your visit. You can't request your first visit until this institutional self-study is done. And it has to have electronic bookmarks. And you're going to have to do it in Adobe Acrobat. But the ladies, the team, they'll zip right through this and do this for you. If you're thinking about doing it yourself, talk to some school owners. They went through our program. You may talk to some school owners out there that will mislead you on purpose. Oh, yeah, you can do it yourself. I did mine myself. No, they did not. A lot of these school owners, they don't want you to be successful. They're not going to give you any information, lead you down the right track. No. Most of them are probably in our program and they're not even telling you, because we have a lot of people that have non-disclosures. Literally almost I ain't gonna say everybody, but almost everybody that has a school in some form or fashion went through Ms. Velma's program. I can tell you all that. We'll keep going. Number 6, we talked about that, requested the consultation visit. When can you request a consultation visit? After you submitted your institutional self-study and NACCAS has accepted it. Then you can submit your form for your candidate visit, what I showed you all previously, and then you pay your fee. We'll keep going. Okay, the candidate consultation visit. It's a friendly visit. They're not coming to write you up, to do any of that stuff, to get you in trouble. It's a friendly visit. I don't care if your school is a circus, a zoo. They're just going to tell you things that you need to do to tighten it up, things you need to do to fix. That's it. It's just a friendly visit to come to your school. There's no need for you to be scared or whatever. They're just going to come and tell you, hey, fix this, fix that, or your sign here, or this or that, or the paperwork here. And then after that, the ladies, our team, will revise your ISS, because they may say this needs change, update this, update that. That's just protocol. They always do that. And then ladies are updated, corrected, send it in the next week. All right. They may tell you, get these files, do this. So that's good that they do this candidate visit to get you in line and get you ready for your final visit. Now, after that, you can fill out your initial accreditation application. That application is about probably 7 to 10 pages long. We have examples. Everything that I'm sharing with you, we have examples already completed and filled out for you to copy and paste and fill in the blank. Even if you can't type or whatever, in some of our programs, the ladies will do it for you. They'll type everything in, put all of that, you sign it, and send it back to us with your signature, and they'll upload it to the back portal. So now, once this application for initial accreditation is filled out, along with supporting documents, which is the revised ISS, they're going to want a letter from your state board stating that these programs are approved and this school was approved on such and such date to open. You're going to have that letter from the state board. You missed that. Just contact the state board saying, hey, I need a letter stating all the programs that are approved and stating when we first got open and approved. Because that has to go with this packet. A picture of your outside sign that has to go in this packet. So there's several exhibits. When it's talking about required exhibits, those are some of the things that they're talking about. And I have one of these applications out there in the back portal, so you can check that. So now with this application, well, how much is this? This is going to be your most expensive one, $5,700. Now I know you're saying, eesh, that's a whole lot of money. You're going to make a whole lot of money. So you're going to pay NACCAS probably maybe $11,000, $12,000, something like that, over the course of 18 months, 2 years or whatever. You will. But guess what? For a $1,500 program, you can get $20,000, $25,000 for that student. You're going to get your money back. You can have 10 clients at $20,000 when you get accredited. 10 clients, that's 10 students, $200,000. Who gonna have one client where they getting 20,000? I don't know no beauty professional just getting that behind a chair. 20 clients, 20 times 20, 400,000. 50 clients, you have 50 clients, 50 students times 20,000. That's $1 million. The only thing that's synonymous and the same in every language is numbers. Numbers don't lie. They don't. I can't make this up. You do the math. 50 clients, 50 students, the government paying me $20,000. It's $1 million. We hadn't talked about the clinic floor sales, the product sales, you doing your clients' hair, the students doing all those clients' hair, the advanced classes. We ain't talking about the vending machine where they eating the powdered donuts, the chocolate donuts, the hot Cheetos, the taco chips or tiki chips, whatever they call them chips that's hot, the sodas. We ain't talking about any of that stuff. You see, when people get accredited, they start getting that big government money, they forget about all the other little things. So think about that. So it's very important that you all go through this process and stop looking at what's not right. Stop looking at how much something costs. What you need to be thinking about, how much money am I gonna make? Okay, so Ms. Velma, your program, this amount, okay, you're gonna give me a payment plan. Okay, I can put a down payment. I can make payments. You're gonna work with me. You're gonna help me get accredited in record time. But how much money can I charge for a student? Well, you can get X amount, guaranteed money. It's just like an athlete going pro. When they sign them contracts, them big contracts, a lot of that money, you'll see how much is guaranteed. Guaranteed. When you get accredited and get approved for your Title IV funding, the Pell Grants, the sub and unsub, that money's guaranteed. The government don't run out of money. The government has never ran out of money. They got the machine to just print more. If a student comes, the GI Bill has been in the military, and a lot of y'all probably don't know this, but we got some military people on here. We got some military folk on here. That money's guaranteed that they pay the student to go to school. Guaranteed they're going to pay the school for that student. That's guaranteed money. That's something you all need to think about. Yes. So we're gonna keep it moving. So y'all can all, you remember, guaranteed. Ain't no, well, I'm gonna pay you so and so, I'm gonna give you this. No, the government does not work like that. It's a lot of paperwork. People always say, well, Chin, man, that's a lot of paperwork. I never forget I said that to Miss Belma. I said, Miss Belma, that's a lot of paperwork. And she looked at me, Rich, and she said, Chin, and you're gonna make a lot of paper too. A lot of paperwork, but you're gonna make a lot of paper. And the computer's doing a lot of this work now. You all are leveraging these systems to do a lot of this work. So now let's keep going. We at about the finish line, y'all. We done filled out the application. We done submitted this last application and paid the $5,700. And we had our audited financial statements by, I tell everybody to call it Nathan Ferguson, because Nathan Ferguson, he worked for the U.S. Department of Education over 10 years. He retired and went into private practice. You got to have a CPA to do your audited financials of the school, okay, to submit. Very important. If you don't get the right one, they may mess up your stuff. If y'all need his number, I give it to y'all. I don't care if you're in the program or not. I'm going to give it to you. We'll keep going. Now, when we submit that application, NACCAS will send us a checklist, things that we need to get prepared. Well, what other things? It's in your institutional self-study. And NACCAS is going to want a list of the past 12 months of graduates, past 12 months current students attending, the past 12 months for students that withdrew. They'll want that list. When they come to your school, just say you sent them a list of 20, 30 students. When NACCAS comes to your school, they'll highlight maybe 3 or 4 files. Pull this file, pull that one. And they'll look at it. It's no surprise visit. And they're going to send 4 team members out there. 4 team members. I'll never forget. I'm in the hood, y'all, in that raggedy building, drunks, crackheads in that neighborhood. 4 people came that didn't look like me. And I warned the students, they coming, they'll be here for a whole day. Well, they came. This was in what? 1999, 2000, something like that. And I had 1 or 2 things out of place. 1 or 2 things out of place, just some human errors. But I was in Miss Velma's program. And I snuck in, went in the bathroom, Miss Velma, I don't have such and such. I don't even know why I don't, just made an error. Okay, Chin, don't worry about it. Go to your fax machine. And I had a fax machine over in the corner in my office. Some of y'all have seen that back in the day. That fax machine went off about 10 to 15 minutes later. Somehow, those documents, them policies and procedures, Ms. Velma's team did something, typed them up or whatever, and they mysteriously came through that fax machine. Gave them to them, went on, 0 limitations. 0. Well, went to the commission, 45 days later, my report got accredited. I had a list of all the students, potential students that called and asked about financial aid. Y'all have financial aid? Not yet, but it's coming. So I took their name, information, all that. When I got the financial aid, it was over. It was a wrap. We'll keep going. Now, what if you get some limitations? That's not the end of the world. What is a limitation? To write up something that's not right in the school, and you can fix it within 45 days after they leave your school, submit it, then it's corrected. This is like an application for that initial accreditation, and it's on the NACCAS website too. Most of the people in our program, the ladies just email you this. They'll email you a copy of a completed one so you can say, oh, okay, fill this out. And it's real simple. There's a few things on here that you may not understand, but if you don't, you just email the team or call me. Now, step 10, like I said, after they come visit, everything is done or whatever. No write-ups at the school. Within 45 days, they grant you your accreditation. NACCAS wants you to become accredited because the more schools they have accredited, the more money NACCAS makes. People think that NACCAS, the accrediting commission, is against you and they don't want you to be accredited. No, If no schools are accredited, they don't have a job. They're out of business. So they want you to be accredited. All right. That's very important. They want you to be accredited. So those are the steps for the NACCAS accreditation. You have some recurring fees every year, certain things you got to do. Your annual report, you got to do that every year. The sustaining fees, you got to pay them every year. All right. Financial statements, show those. Now, this is after you become accredited. Going through candidate status, they don't look at the financials. All right. Now, going to your final visit for initial accreditation, you got to have your last 12 months of audited financial statements by an accountant. So what we did, we just covered about candidate status and becoming accredited. Now, what we want to do, let's talk about how to become accredited in record time. This is what you want to do. When you open your school, you want to have the enrollment agreement, school catalog, pre-orientation receipt, orientation checklist. You want to have all of that stuff in compliance. We already have all that. So now when you go through accreditation and your institutional self-study and all of that, all of your documents are in compliance. You don't have to lie, cheat, and steal and all of that. When you go to your workshop, you want to already have your school feasibility study done. We need to already have done that. A lot of our clients, we already have that done for them. They got their school license, the resume. And so when they come back from the workshop, guess what? The next day, we go online, fill out their candidate application and upload all of that. They pay the fees, boom. Now, the next week, they're in candidate status. Guess what? They're in candidate status. Now we can upload the ISS. We've already done their ISS. They've already given us their paperwork. Some of the school owners that went to the workshop, their ISS was already done. We were just waiting for them to get candidate status, get that approved, then boom, upload the ISS the same day after NACCAS approves candidate status. Guess what? Already have the candidate application done. We just ain't put a date on it. Waiting on NACCAS. I already have the initial accreditation application. So what you want to do, the 6 P's. Proper planning prevents a painfully poor performance. You want to do things ahead of time. Ahead of time. You want to put your seatbelt on when you get in the car, not after you done had a wreck. You want to get insurance now. A rock hit my windshield. It was $3,000 for a Tesla windshield. $3,000. Well, I had insurance. 0 deductible. Don't have to pay nothing. And the insurance don't go up. So you want to do things beforehand. Don't wait. So to fast track it through accreditation, yeah, you can fast track it. I just shared what you should be doing, how we do it. The team will do that boom, 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 boom. A lot of times we're waiting on you. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go to the NACCAS website, because everything that I've told you, I need to show you, although I've shown you some of the stuff. Okay, so when you go to the NACCAS website, naccas.org, if you click on right here, events, webinars, workshop schedule, that'll tell you the workshop schedule. Self-explanatory, tells you all of that. Workshop registration form, you click on that, the registration form will pop up. It tells you everything about the workshops. All right, now, if we go on over here to accreditation, the drop down, steps to becoming accredited. And then you're going to go down here and click on candidate school steps to accreditation. It's going to pop up and it's going to tell you everything of what I just went over. This is everything I just went over. It's going to tell you every single thing. It's right here on the NACCAS website. When it's time for you to fill out your candidate status application, you're going to go to accreditation. Okay. It's going to pop up right here. Look, create electronic application for candidate status. Click here. There it is. No, I need to create one. So you will create one. I have a video training walking you step by step. Or the ladies, they'll do it with you or for you. So this is the NACCAS website. All the applications and forms, everything is here. I'm not going to go through all of those. And you don't have to go through them. People in the program, the ladies, will just email them to you. So those are some of the basic things that you want to know coming out the gate. If you want to know about the NACCAS accredited schools, okay, well, how many schools accredited in my state or in my city? Or how many schools trying to get accredited? Go to accreditation, go down here, accredited school search, click on that. It's going to tell you. If you want to know how many schools are accredited in what state, somebody on here in the chat, put a state up. Somebody put a state up. Because this is something that you all need to see to realize that you don't have competition. Oklahoma, okay. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you how many is in the whole United States, NACCAS accredited. 1,109 NACCAS accredited schools in the entire United States, 1,109. And there's over 1 million beauty professionals. What does that tell you? It's wide open. So I'll go over a couple of states, Oklahoma. Okay, we'll do Indiana, Oklahoma, and Georgia. We'll do a couple. So we're going to go down here and we'll do Oklahoma first. Click on Oklahoma, search. Look, it's 22 NACCAS accredited schools. If we go on candidate, that's the schools that's trying to get accredited through NACCAS, which is 4, okay? So accredited schools, NACCAS accredited, 22. Let's go with Indiana. We'll just do a couple of them, because this is something y'all need to see. There is no competition. Some of y'all not understanding. It ain't no competition. 32 in Indiana, NACCAS accredited schools. Candidate status, boom, it's a handful. Most of them going through our program right now. Won't call names or whatever. What else we got? Georgia. Let's go to Georgia. Probably about 20 NACCAS accredited in Georgia. Look, 20. It's only 20, y'all, in Georgia. It's wide open for y'all. Massachusetts. Let's go. Massachusetts. Boom. It's only 15. 15 accredited in Massachusetts. So if you all want to do that, let me show you all again. Go to accreditation, accredited school search, and you can even go by city. You can put the city in and the state, and it will tell you. Illinois, let's go to Illinois. Wide open. Illinois, 65 NACCAS accredited schools in the whole state of Illinois. It's not a lot. It is not a lot. So it's wide open for you all. I wanted to go over this accreditation information so you all could have a clear understanding of the process. It gets more detailed, but we have video trainings in more details. But this gave you at least a bird's eye view, and hopefully you all learned some stuff tonight. And it don't take long to get accredited. It doesn't. 2 to 3 years is not a long time. And a lot of beauty professionals, you'll talk to them and they'll say, ooh, that's a long time. You've been working in the shop for 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Heck, that's a long time. And you're never going to get accredited. You're never going to get government money. Well, how am I going to survive? How the heck have you survived in that shop? That's how you will survive in the school. Doing your client's hair, doing clients coming in, the students doing clients. You're getting commission 100% because the student don't get paid anything. The only thing they're going to get is a tip, if that. So you all can open these schools. We just went over the NACCAS candidate application, accreditation, bird's eye view, letting you know how you can do things in record time, hire an expert team to work with you, do it for you, do it with you. All right, so if y'all have any questions, just reach out, email millionairebarber@gmail.com, or y'all can click the link that's down below the video. So now,